And good afternoon. We are on the air because of an incident that happened in Richland County that carried over into Calhoun County. A Richland County man arrested and charged in connection with the kidnapping and attempted murder of two teenage girls, two 15-year-olds. 21-year-old Darius Gilmore now facing charges in this case. We're going to listen in live as authorities are talking about this case. If we can take that live picture now and see who we have. I believe we have Deputy Sheriff Matt Trentham, who is going to be speaking with the news media now. Let's take a listen.
All right, so Saturday morning, Calhoun County Sheriff's Office was notified by a young victim in the Sandy Run area, the Gaston area of Calhoun County, the Sandy Run community. She had gone to a local business up there and advised some folks inside that business that she had been kidnapped. Our deputies responded to the area where she said that she had come from, and a friend of hers was also in that area, supposedly. Based on her description, we were able to locate, at the time it was two individuals. Later, one of them was identified as a homeowner and not related to the situation. But we were able to detain 21-year-old Darius Gilmore of Columbia. So Mr. Gilmore began to speak to us in reference to the situation, saying that he had encountered two juvenile females earlier that morning, around 3, 4 in the morning, and that they had come to his residence and began to give us basically his version of the events. At the same time that our deputies had him detained, we had other deputies that responded to the business to locate the initial caller, the juvenile. Found her, spoke to her at length, and basically the versions of events began to kind of line up. The female stated that they had gone to his apartment that morning. He began to accuse them of stealing some items, and they were then bound, placed into a vehicle at gunpoint, and driven to a remote area of Calhoun County. There were threats that he was going to kill them both. At one point, when he was in that area of the community, it's a sparsely populated area, he removed one of the females from the vehicle and began to strike her in the head with that pistol that he was armed with. During that kind of distraction, the other juvenile that was in the vehicle was able to get in the driver's seat of his vehicle, which was still running, and was able to escape the area and go to that business to call for help. With him in custody, we were able to, obviously he had his version of the events, which were not the same. We were able to go to that area. He admitted to us on scene and later in an interview here at the Sheriff's Office that he did discharge a firearm when the vehicle was speeding away. He stated that she was trying to steal his vehicle. We were able to locate several bullet holes in his vehicle. We were able to recover a semi-automatic 9mm handgun at the scene. After Miranda warnings, and of course here during the formal interview, he did admit to a lot of his participation in this event. So obviously he was charged with 2 counts of kidnapping, possession of a weapon during a violent crime, 2 counts of attempted murder, as well as discharging a firearm into a vehicle. I will say that this is an ongoing investigation. We still have other suspects that that we believe are involved. This incident did originate in Columbia, so we have worked with, we've executed a search warrant. We've also been in communication with the Richland County Sheriff's Department. They are obviously investigating the crimes that occurred in the Columbia area in their jurisdiction. We believe there could be other people involved in this situation, so there could be other charges as this develops and as things come out. But obviously, one of the ladies here just asked about additional information from Richland. I can't comment on Sheriff Lott's investigation up there. There's obviously some things that may come about up there, but as far as our incident, there could be additional charges here. I think we've got it pretty much wrapped up. Our investigators are continuing with some additional search warrants and things now. And obviously we have some forensic things that have to happen with SLED. And then also we're trying to wrap up other folks that may have been involved with this situation or been communicated to during this incident. So I'll take any questions at this point.
Do we know why
We do not. I mean, we basically put out there, they were two 15-year-old juvenile females at this point. Our suspect, a 21-year-old male. I don't know. They haven't given us a motive or any reason why they were there. It was, again, 3 o'clock in the morning when this supposedly originated in Richland County. And I know Sheriff Summers, if he was here, would echo the same thing that Sheriff Lott has constantly repeated in the community. These juveniles and the parents, I mean, we've got to step up and be responsible for our children. I'm not saying anybody in this situation was irresponsible, because you can only control so much. But these were two 15-year-old girls that left home and obviously came very, very close to a tragic end. So we're going to do our part, and we're going to continue this investigation. If we can get additional charges, if we can hold more people responsible, we absolutely will.
Chief Deputy, how were the juveniles bound? Was it duct tape?
We are trying to withhold some of that information just in case of a corroboratory thing. I will say that they were bound with tape, yes.
Since the first girl went into the business, how long was it until the second was found?
Minutes. I don't know our exact response times on this, but luckily, again, we're a small community, small county, and we've got deputies, so on any call, our usual response time was within 20 minutes. I think it was a lot faster than that, actually, on this call. I can't speak to the exact times, but I do know that it was a pretty quick response. We had 2 deputies on the scene pretty fast.
Do you need the public to assist you with anything by calling any other tips, or do you think most of this on the Calhoun end is already kind of wrapped up a little bit?
Like I said, if anybody has information specifically about this incident, I mean, we welcome anything that's going to aid our investigation. Again, like I said, I don't know that we're prepared to move towards what this could potentially become. But at this point, you know, if anybody has information specifically about Mr. Gilmore or any of the juveniles, if they know personally, we'd be glad to talk to anybody about it.
This area that they ended up at with the car, is this an area familiar to this kind of thing? Does this happen? Is this rare for that area?
From what we have determined, they were not familiar. I think it was commented that he actually drove around for quite some time, more than an hour, looking for an area to go to. That specific area, obviously with I-26 coming into Calhoun County up around the Eastman area, the 77 junction, when people try to go to the woods, they come to the woods. And that community up there is kind of the first time you see a tree outside you get out of Columbia. So we do have some transient crime that occurs sometimes in that area, and I think that's what this boiled down to.
Are you able to release any details of which business the girl went into?
I don't know that it matters, but it was a gas station right there at the 125 exit. Yeah.
Did any of the girls have to be taken to the hospital or treated for any injuries?
Yes. One of the girls was taken to the hospital by ambulance. I gave you all packets a minute ago in the report and in the warrants also. When Mr. Gilmore removed the first girl from the vehicle, obviously there was a struggle. She did not want to go willingly, and he began to strike her in the head with that pistol. So she had some minor injuries. It was nothing where she was kept, but we did, you know, just as cautionary, she was obviously hurting. So we called an ambulance that took her just to be checked out, and she was later released into the custody of her parents.
So when it comes to just how there may be other suspects involved, so are you suggesting that this person may have had help or something, and maybe in Richland County or in Calhoun County?
Yeah, we believe so. Yeah, we believe he had help and was actually speaking to other people during this crime. So yeah, that's what we're currently running down now. We have search warrants that we're serving on several cell phones. Like I said, we've done search warrants on his residence and some other things. So yeah, we believe that he was actually communicating with someone, and they've kind of given him advice, if that makes sense, on what he needed to do.
Do you know how the girls and Mr. Gilmore were acquainted with each other, or how long they knew each other, if they did?
Don't know that we're prepared yet on that. obviously knew each other. You can read in the incident report packet, they all, consistently, all three of them stated that they showed up by Uber to his residence, so they're obviously known to him. But again, going back to the reason that they were there, I'm not sure that's part of the ongoing investigation as to why they were there, what they were doing there, and how familiar they were with him.
You said Richland County kind of said, and you agreed with, parents being involved maybe with it. Are there any suggestions that you could offer parents? For juveniles, you said, obviously you're not saying that this is a case of that, but.
Yeah, I don't know if it is or not. And nobody's in our own homes, but they say it takes a village to raise your children, and the biggest thing is talking to your kids. I mean, I don't know this specific, these victims involved in this. I don't know their circumstances. I don't know, but I do know that the juvenile crime in Orangeburg area here and in the Columbia area, it's a problem, and it's becoming a problem. Parents really need to sit down and talk to their kids and really look at who they're involved with, what they're involved in, and take some interest, take some responsibility for your kids.
Yeah. So did the victims' families release any statements regarding the incident or talk to y'all at all?
No, ma'am. I think our investigators are still speaking with them. Obviously, it was kind of crazy. It's a traumatic event, obviously, with the hospital and that. We had been in communication with them. I think we actually have some interviews set up with them to come down to speak to the parents and the victims again, one-on-one here, just in the routine process of the investigation.
Do we have a specific just length of time between when the girls were kidnapped, specifically at the apartment, to then when they were eventually found?
The only hard information that we know is that they arrived at his residence in Columbia at 3 a.m. And I believe we got the call at 7 a.m. Is that 7:16 a.m.? So that span of time, again, the incident originated in Richland. I believe there were some accusations about the girls stealing or being involved in stealing from him. And so in that 4-hour window, we also know that he drove around for a substantial amount of time during this incident, trying to find a location that was secluded. So yeah, I don't know the exact hard timelines, but I know when we were called and when they are all three stating that around 3 a.m. they got to his house. So that's it.
Yeah, and has the suspect ever been arrested for something similar, or is this like first time?
No. Does he have any criminal? No criminal history at all.
Do you have any pictures of evidence at this point of maybe like the car or just any of the scenes at this point that could be released?
I don't think we're going to release any of that yet. Just again, I'd love to say this case is closed, but again, we're still trying to explore every avenue. Again, Richland County, we have communicated with the Richland County Sheriff's Department, and they have all the information that we have. So obviously, I don't want to try to put out too much information that might affect their investigation also. So.
Anything you want to say, about the victim being able to get out of that situation and go to the gas station?
Oh yeah, I think she was extremely brave. I can't imagine myself in that position. I don't think anybody would want to imagine themselves in that position, but obviously that there was danger. She was able to literally, in the incident package, you can see her statement was that she chewed through her binds. Her hands were tied. She chewed through her bindings and was able to jump into the front seat when he was distracted and get away. So, obviously there's fear, but there's also bravery, because plenty of people would have just gave up in that situation. And also, I'm really proud of the people that were there at the gas station, like I said, because when she came in and started telling those folks, it was customers and employees alike. When she began to tell her story, they put her into a secure area and kept her safe until we got her. So, there's a lot of good things that happened, for sure. And it could have been a lot more tragic, for sure. So.
Yeah, and so you mentioned kind of him driving around to find a secluded place. Is it solidified that his motive was to kill the girls?
He is charged with attempted murder. We believe that absolutely his intent was to kill them.
Was the secluded location, that was like Do you know if that was like the final destination? Was he going to possibly go somewhere else at this point, or that was there?
No, we believe he took them to that spot, honestly, to kill them and to leave their bodies there.
And so last, just so I make sure, when first girl, she arrived at the gas station, she said the other sister, she arrived there just a few minutes later, correct?
She's not her sister, but the other female victim, is that what
Oh,
you
yeah, the other female victim.
No, actually, we haven't released that information, but I will say generally, while he was distracted chasing his vehicle down the road, firing the weapon, she was able to escape also. She went to a residence that was close by, that kind of the first house she came to kind of thing. And again, those people also acted the same way as the folks in the store. They took her in, kept her safe until we got there, and were able to get her.
Is it true that the suspect went knocking on the doors trying to find the girls specifically, and where in the general area was
That's
that?
what we were told, yeah. We had multiple calls in the 911 center. Some of those were from residents in that area saying that somebody was pounding on their door and that there was an armed man and things like that. So yeah, that's absolutely true.
You credit the Sandy Run community, just their type of close-knitness and friendliness for their, the way that they reacted in all of this to make it a better outcome.
I mean, I will say it, and, you know, the second Tuesday of every month, we have the Crime Watch meeting in Sandy Run. It's literally one of the longest ones that we've had. It's like 12, 13 years old at this point, and I constantly credit those guys. We put out constantly, not just to Sandy Run, but everybody. If you see something, call us. I would rather send a deputy out to check on something that's suspicious than for something bad like this to happen, and then we find the results of it later. So yeah, Calhoun County as a whole, not just Sandy Run, Calhoun County as a whole is a close community. And I think everybody would have acted the same, hopefully. But these girls, they lucked out. They definitely lucked out. Could have been a lot worse.
And just to clarify, when the girls arrived by Uber, was it just by themselves, or was there someone else with them? It was just the two?
By themselves.
Gotcha.
Do you have anything else regarding the case or further investigation?
Not at this point. I think if we get any information, we'll obviously release it to you folks and keep you guys up to date on things. Again, I don't know about Sheriff Lott and his side of this as well, but you know, we will definitely keep you guys up to date on any of the arrests or anything else that come out of this.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Thank you so
You're
much.
amazing. All of you are amazing.
Oh.
All right, there you have Deputy Sheriff Matt Trentum with the Calhoun Sheriff's Department briefing the media on this story that began here in Columbia and ended up in Calhoun County. Very early Saturday morning, two 15-year-old girls, according to authorities, were kidnapped and driven to a secluded area of Calhoun County. 21-year-old Darius Gilmore, who has no record of any kind, arrested and charged in connection now with this case. Authorities believe that the girls were forcibly again taken to a part of Calhoun County where they managed, at least one of them managed to escape. Authorities say that Gilmore drove the girls to that area. One girl was removed from the vehicle. And while that was going on, another girl would manage to free herself and take a car and drive away. Authorities also say that the one girl who was removed from the vehicle was beaten on the head with a pistol, and that girl required hospitalization. This all happening at 3 a.m. Saturday morning. It appears, according to authorities, the alleged kidnapper had them for about 4 hours or more. And investigators believe that the suspect in this case, drove the girls to that secluded area of Calhoun County to kill them. You heard our Taylor Richardson asking questions about whether or not other people may be involved. And at this point, authorities would not give specific details, but they do believe maybe 2 other people were involved in this case. So again, 2 15-year-old girls, according to authorities, kidnapped, driven to a secluded area of Calhoun County, where they believe that the suspect intended to kill them. Quite a story. We have more details for you on our website right now. Simply look for this story on our website, WLTX.com. We are working more information, working to get more information in this story for you. We will have it for you both on air and online later tonight here on News 19. For the latest news, weather, sports anytime, simply go to our website. That's WLTX.com.